All right. Movies are being banned, and we're alive and well outside of the Gulf states of the world.
We have not lost our broadcasting jobs,
No, we have
contrary
not.
to the news of today,
Yes,
or yesterday, rather.
Google it. Welcome into Calling the Audible. Eagle, Iggy, and yours truly, Mocon. PZ's off this week. He will be back next week. In fact, we're going to have a little rotation of cast of characters here.
Coming up, yeah.
Yeah, I won't be here in a fortnight's time. I have Montreal Lions obligations, duties. So it'll be you and Peas in 2 weeks. It'll be Peas and I next week. And that's where we start seeing different voices.
Faces.
Yeah, faces as we get towards the final weeks of games. You know, we're now...
Holy crap. That was a different face.
I'm trying different settings, so I always find you a little bit blurry. And so I was like, oh, what's the enable HDR button do?
Do
This.
Boom.
Oh, man.
I'm hot.
He looks like a tanned Guido from New Jersey.
Guido.
Guido.
You look like Hellboy.
Hello.
Yeah.
From hell.
Can you add like fire around him or something?
I mean, yes, but not in this exact moment.
It looks
but I
like
can do
you know
it, yeah.
you know what it looks like? It looks like I had a bag of Cheetos and just like rubbed it all over my arms and face.
True. That's exactly what he looks like.
It kind of does.
It looks like you have like
now
a red
I'm
eye.
frozen. Now
I know. I'm looking for other settings that I can toy with to screw
now
with you.
it's just frozen Iggy.
Frozen Iggy. That's probably the best Iggy we've had all season long.
Okay.
It's true.
No. All right. We are now into week 7. We're wrapping up week 6. A few things to announce. As always, please check your rosters because we are at a point of the season where we're past the 5-game mark required. Some have played 7 games. Most have played 6. There's 1 or 2 still straggling along at 5 games played. But
3 or 4.
yeah, 3 or 4. There's still Poseidon's Kiss is
Yeah.
still at 3 or 4. But please check your rosters. How like whatever number of teams you're on. If you're on 2, 3, whatever it is, please check your rosters. Because we run into the same situation in week 11 of the season where emails are robust and they come in droves and people essentially, hey, my guy played week 3. Well, who has that guy? Blah, blah, blah. And also your Nike orders. It has arrived. So please check in with the league if it's been received and we can arrange for it to be brought to you at the field in the coming week or 2. I do have some stuff here that I will give to those who I will see the next day or so.
We'll also be reaching out to players, but if you ordered something and you're going to be at a field, one of these 2 buffoons will bring you your order.
Yes, he's, with a smile on our face as well. And also, again, please double check, Eagle, if you don't mind showing the website, the page of the dates for the finals, so everyone knows what is going on. As you see right there, it is the link to go in and check out when your finals will be. The playoff dates are set, ready to roll. You scroll down, you see the number of teams that qualify per division, and here are the dates of when your games will be.
Yeah.
So please schedule. I know we have a bunch during construction holiday weekend or week. That is, it's 2 week wonderful end of summer over here. But check it out and make sure you schedule around what you have for those dates locked in.
And if you're wondering where the games are, here's the breakdown of that too.
Yep, there you go. Marie-Vic, Laval, Brossard, and Papineau, de Montreal. So
Again, Laval is outdoors, not out of rotation.
yeah, someone wrote out. So
Not me.
Because let me tell you, I see the questions that come into our chat sometimes,
yeah.
and oh boy.
Yeah.
I asked last week. Like people are saying, like Laval out. What Laval's out?
It's out. It's out of play.
It's out of play indeed. So okay, so Nike orders, please check in with the league. Check out your games played, and also the playoff schedule is set, ready to roll on the league website main page as well.
Mo, the pennies.
Oh yes.
What's the rule for clarification? You know, not everyone's familiar with it. Some people show up to the field. Maybe they're a pink jersey team, and they know the other team is pink, and maybe they say, screw it, we're not going to bring our pink shirts. The scorekeepers have pennies. Break it down for us how that works.
Okay, so
for games
very
played.
simple here. If Team A and Team B have the same color uniform, the pennies will be given to the visiting team. Now, if you decide to show up and be like, hey, I need pennies, well, what happened? Well, guys are missing shirts. Not going to work. That's your responsibility. We give you a 2-week window to get yourself proper uniforms, same colored uniforms or within the same shade department of the area you're from. If you can't do that, then that's on you. And I had a situation on Monday with the team where 2 of the players had white shirts and they had bright green uniforms, toxic green.
Toxic green.
And the team captain said we're going to forfeit the game if we cannot play with what we have. I go, that's
Well,
not my problem.
You can play.
You can play, but it ain't my problem, bro.
You're just not gonna get the game played and the stats for the players that are not
Yeah.
showing up in with or
Yeah.
that are showing up in uniform violations. So, in other words, with the pennies, it doesn't matter whether we give you pennies or not. If that goes towards your games played and your stats, it matters what you brought to the field. That's it.
It's like showing up to an exam without a calculator and you think someone's going to give you a calculator at the exam room.
I mean, let's be real. If you're playing in like even a hockey beer league, you're supposed to have the same jerseys, right? And usually you get the super fancy ones, they're all printed, same colors, etc. There's a lot more that goes into it. All we're asking is have a shirt of the same color with a number. It's not that complicated. You can get like old school Montreal Canadiens players at Sport Exports on liquidation for $5 and just have a team of that. That's happened multiple times. Just do that and have a red set and a blue set. Problem solved.
And furthermore, when it comes to numbers,
Yeah.
no taped numbers, no marker numbers. It has to be clear and visible, like you have a press-on number that you get at Sports X or a hockey arena, whatever it is. Simple as that, guys. Okay? So, anyway, and FYI, this one more thing. And this is something that there's always a loophole to it. Sometimes the teams will show up, right, and say Iggy doesn't have a number, but guess what? We have to wear pennies. Well, guess what? You showed up without a number anyways. You're not going to get the game played for
That's it.
or the stats, even if you're giving pennies.
That's what I said. The simplest way to think about it is the penny, whether we give you pennies or not, it doesn't matter. It matters what you show up
Did you
to.
come prepared to play that game to get a
Correct.
game played?
It's what did you bring to the field, and that's how you get determine whether you get the game played or not.
Exactly. Okay, let's dive into it. Division E. Division E will open up with this here. A lot going on in Division E here, Iggs. Our boys, the Pasta boys, Pasta Rabadiat, these guys have been in fuego. They have been proving doubters wrong. They took the Jason Leclerc-led team to the distance.
Yeah. On Papineau on Monday.
And, well, then on Papineau Monday, they took out FSU, albeit though FSU was a bit undermanned in terms of the roster who was available for them.
We're also getting a game of the week, right? That's coming up soon.
This was the
That's
teaser
right,
for
yeah,
it.
Teaser over here, as you can see. Look at our boy, the two-way player, the two-way award. Joe Marghese, two-way award over there. Okay.
Look at that. Joe Urlacher here making plays on both sides of the ball.
Look at the man in the middle right there, 89.
Look at communicating to his
monsters
team.
in the midway over there, you know? Look at the quarterback over here. Look at this fluke play. Look at this fluke play.
It was
Look at
designed
No,
that
it's
way.
a design play. It's
It
a
was
step play.
Look at that fluke play. You know, here's a run. The quarterback went 15 to 17, by the way.
15 of 17. That is for he doesn't complete many.
There's
balls.
one of the incompletions. Technically complete.
Yes.
He had 2 INTs. Those are the 2 incompletions.
That's
Actually really impressive.
for Carmelo. Yeah, Giovanni.
Yeah.
That's actually really impressive.
Nice on that
especially not coming. Yeah. Especially not having played many games this season, not being the full-time QB for the Spicy Boys. Yeah, Joe Urlacher here. But look at him come. Boom. Coming in.
Laying the thump. A downhill thumper he is, man. He's like the white version of LaVon Kirkland. And for those who know who LaVon Kirkland is, Google LaVon Kirkland.
You're dating yourself there, Mo.
I'm saying this. Look up LaVon Kirkland.
How is dating yourself?
It's great, man.
Yeah.
I know what I want.
Okay.
I
All right.
know when I'm not a first date kisser. We're good. Okay, so the past
You're not a first date kisser. What is that supposed to mean?
Sorry, I'm lying. You know what? We had a few kisses at the wedding.
Seva?
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
Yeah.
the Pasta boys. Are they earning the respect of Division E, given what they've done the last couple of games here,
Right.
taking out FSU and the Fighting Jason Leclerc, which they lost by a couple of points at
One.
Mary Vic. Yeah, exactly.
1 point.
And I'm referring to not U2. So they have definitely played well. And now they're in a position where they're kind of creeping up they're in the top 10, but they're creeping up into the top 5 perhaps if they can win out their lot of games.
Yeah, so Joe came up to me on Sunday morning and said, well, bro, how come you're not talking about us? We beat this cover 3 inches long, who are what? Now they're 6-1 now. We beat them 32-0, bro. You're not giving us the respect and the time. Well, here's the respect. Here's the time, Joe. Look, yeah, that was actually a really impressive 32-0 victory over a pretty decent 6-1 squad in cover 3 inches long in Division E. Yeah, I see them as even though they're slotted right now in the 7th seed, I'm sorry, I'm looking at this wrong. Where are they?
They're in the actually
Jesus, at the
10th
10th seed.
10th.
Technically tied for 9th, but yeah.
Fair. I still see them I see them more in the top 7. I see them being very competitive with a team like Meat Lovers. They have more experience than them. I think they can battle it out with Houday, probably come out winning that game on converts or maybe one score. So I see them as a top 7 team. Do you think they're a top 5?
To be determined. The defense can play very well.
Yeah.
I worry about the quarterback play. Again, we saw a sample of what Carmelo Di Giovanni did on Monday, and then you got Nick DeLisi, who's hurt right now and could be back in a few weeks, depending on how his injury heals up. Both quarterbacks are not they're not going to be Patrick Mahomes out there.
You don't need to be in Division E, though.
No, but you need to score points, Iggs, and
Sure.
And the problem is with this team is that they play off the emotion of their defense, which is fine, and they come out with big plays, which is fine. But there's going to be a game or two where the defense is not going to make a big play. They're not going to come up with an interception. They're not going to have a big sack. Already this year, Iggs, I believe that 15 INTs through 6-7 games.
That's really, really impressive.
That's
actually.
massive, right? So there's going to be games where they're not going to get an INT. And in that game, that does not result in a turnover, which gives them a free possession. Does the quarterback play come up big?
So do you think it's that game is in the regular season or it's a playoff game? Because I don't see it in the regular season. Ramphin, Timberwolves, show me them TDs and Satrial.
They can run it. They can run it and be 8-2.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're going to be they might be there might be a few holes to the 8-2.
Right.
You know, like when we go into playoffs, like we're circling these teams as being 8-2. Like they're legit. They may not be that threatening 8-2 team.
I can see the game you're talking about being perhaps a semifinal game, where you're now down to the best 4 in the division. Which
Are they the best 4?
I think I could see them making the semifinals. They would squeak out a win in the quarterfinals to make it to the semis. And then I think that's where you would see the offense not being able to put up the P's gold number of 5 touchdowns on the board.
By the way, have we confirmed the playoff format for E?
For E?
Yeah.
Yeah. For E, it is.
Okay, just making sure.
For some of the others, no. I'm very busy.
Yeah, I know you are. Okay, so look, have we confirmed it though?
Why not? It's you. What are you seeing right now?
Playoff breakdown. Look at the playoff breakdown for Division E. That's the number of teams that's qualifying.
Yes, actually. Yes. Yeah. A
Yeah,
lot
that
of
makes
teams are
sense.
making it. Yes.
Okay.
Nope.
Oh no. No, he's looking at the division standings, which
Which is correct, by the way.
Yes.
20 out of 22. But if you click the
Yes,
playoff
yes,
breakdown,
yes,
it
yes,
says
yes,
spring 22, Iggy.
There you go.
I told you about this 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
I
agree.
told, and I just said I've been very busy.
Yes. Okay. So 16 of 22 qualify for the playoffs.
Nope. 20 of 22.
2022, right? So
20.
like right now, they're in the middle of the pack. And by the end of it, they probably will be top 7, top 6. But I don't know if I'm putting my full effort in them as being a favorite to win Division E. Like, are you taking them over? Like, if they played FSU, fully loaded FSU, do you take them over them? Probably not. Hale Marty's probably not. Cover 3 inches long. No. Mink FT.
They just beat them 30-0.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Minkia, I'm taking them over Minkia.
Yeah, taking them over Minkia. Primetime?
Be close.
Not you two? I don't think so.
Not you two's weird. They're a very strange group.
Meat Lovers? I think I'll take over Meat Lovers.
Yeah. Houday, like I said,
Houday, no.
1 to 2 points or
There's
one
3 in the top 10 they'll beat. Right now. Convincingly.
So 3, they're the 4th team. Therefore, they could make the
Well, they're
semifinals
10
and
right
be in
now.
the top 4.
They're 10, right? There's
Yeah.
9 above them. So that means a third of this top 10 they can beat.
I don't know. You're worried about the offense, but I see 195 points in 6 games.
Who they score those points against, though? Remember, they had a 60-0 forfeit win as well.
Oh, okay. Fair.
Yeah.
So
So really, minus the 60 points, that means they've had, 135 points through 6 games. So you do the
5
math
games.
through 5 games. So you do the mathematics of
30.
135. So that is 27 points per game.
it's 4 touchdowns.
Below
And you
the
need
easy mark.
Yes, for that semifinal game where you're a top 4 team, And that's exactly what I just said. I think they can squeak one out in a quarterfinal where you're probably squeaking one out with 3 or 4 TDs, which is what they're averaging. And then they're going to struggle to score that 5th touchdown to take them over the edge to get them into the finals.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. We'll find out though. But it's fascinating. The last couple of games they've earned their stripe or stripes.
Hmm?
Well, they've earned one
Just
stripe.
one stripe?
Yeah, against FSU, and then they couldn't beat not U2.
Okay.
If they beat not U2, they would have earned their stripes. Okay. So in the one loss category that we have FSU, Hail Marties, cover 3 inches long, Minka, FT, and Meat Lovers. Confidence is lacking in who?
I've seen cover 3 inches long. I'm not too worried about them as much as I'm worried more about Minky FT. They played again last night at Brossard, I believe, on field 2 there in that middle field. They came out to a 26-26 tie with Meat Lovers. I think that's more or less their competition level. I thought they could have won that one, but it just, again, 26 points against the team that you're missing that 5th touchdown, and I'm not sure that they can score on that clip right now. And that's what worries about me in Minkia. That's my team that I'm a little worried about.
So you mentioned cover 3 inches long. I've score kept a couple of the games this year. Not the most sexiest team out there when it comes to the offensive genius that they have. Fab Tremblay's been good. I mean, he doesn't look like a Russian quarterback, but he has run the ball quite efficiently here. The defense is what carries them.
Mm-hmm.
The team that I'm worried about is Meat Lovers. I am not thoroughly convinced by their efforts so far. They're 4-1-2. I wonder if they can kind of maintain their focus here. They've had lapses at times here. Manny Bezogius is a decent quarterback. He still is erratic at times with some bad INTs that he's thrown this season. And, they got not U2 coming up, right, on Sunday in Laval. And that's going to be our true test to seeing how mature he is as a quarterback if he's able to make those throws. I think they can run it afterwards against Texas Chooches in primetime. They should run it.
Yeah.
So they only, the reality is, the good news is that they're going to the playoffs, but the bad news is that they only have 3 more games left. So if they win out the lot, it should solidify them as a top 4 team. But if they lose 1 or even 2, they might be on the outside of the top 5 and now probably somewhere between 6 and 10 going towards the playoffs.
So I said this with Eagles team, and we'll get there in co-ed, but this is now a season and a half at quarterback for Manny Bezogius. I think this is the moment in the season where he should turn the corner to see whether he's really developing or he's going to flatline, especially against not U2. Not U2's, like I said very briefly, a very strange team. There's super heavy, top-loaded front-end talent.
Yeah.
And then there's players that have absolutely no idea what they're doing on the field. So if he can game plan around a team like not U2, he should be able to score 6 touchdowns. Now, the game can also get away from him. Like you said, if he makes those erratic throws, makes costly and poor decisions, that he can end up going 3 touchdowns with 4 interceptions. So this game is actually a really pivotal game for me, in my opinion, of Manny Bezogius' really development as a quarterback. It's a stepping stone of, is he going to turn that corner and become a Division D and a perhaps Division C quarterback in 2 or 3 years' time? Or is he going to stay around here in the Divisions 5 and 6 and Div E?
I don't know if he's ready to make that leap yet. I think it's a good test for him in facing a very tenacious defense that he'll go up against on Sunday. But Meat Lovers, again, they lack the dynamism, the cutting edge required to really be prolific as an offense. I know they have 1 loss, 2 ties, and 4 wins, but 3 games left here. They have to win 2 of the final 3.
Yes.
Just to kind of keep themselves in that top
for sure.
5 conversation.
Yeah.
Even at that, I'm not too sure because, there's some teams that have
2 ties, too.
2 ties, and then if they win out the 3, then I think they're in firm position to be a top 5. But if they lose 1, I think they can get away with it. If they lose 2, they're not going to be a top 5 team moving forward as well. So I think there's some fascinating things to happen here, but we'll see how this plays out moving forward. So look, we look at Division E. We talk about quarterbacks, but who are the most important non-QBs in this division? I got a bunch.
That was an interesting way of phrasing it. Okay? So you're stressing that quarterback is usually a make or break for a team. So you want to see like who are the impact.
Defensive player could be.
Well,
or
let me
receiver.
ask the question differently here. So, other than the quarterback position, let's start with that first.
Yeah.
Which other position is the most important in Division E specifically? Because we know in different divisions you can make an argument for different positions are stronger than others. Blah blah blah. So, Division E specifically, what do you think is the next most important position? And of that grouping, which players play that position the best?
Mine's not. I'm not really answering the question, but that's what I'm here to do. To me, it's not having a wide receiver one. There are several teams that have that. That's not quite enough. I think you need to have three receivers deep in Division E. That's what really defenses can't handle, is when you have at least three main targets that can either juke you, beat you downfield with speed, just catch everything and move the cones, so to speak, and flag. To me, it's having three really great wide receivers.
I think having one dynamic receiver that's going to be the focus helps everyone else. But I think having a pass rusher in this division is massive.
True.
Because you can really blow up plays and really bleep up like the
Offenses,
whole march and offense and all that. If you have a pass rusher that can screw up, like a 5-yard loss in, sorry, I beg your pardon, a 5-yard loss in Division E sack
is a lot.
Is equivalent to like losing 10 yards. Because because it's just bad, right?
Yeah, just negative yards in general, and the fact that there are so many running quarterbacks or more of them in the lower divisions, I think actually you're right, Mo. Having a pass rusher, a really good one, can really stifle and stymie offenses.
Yeah,
I think there's an interesting conversation to be made around, like you mentioned, Iggy, right? If you have your WR1 who's dominating, you can feed him the ball, and the only way to stop him is to either try and high-low or have a better one-on-one matchup, right? And basically just take that guy away, which takes a full team effort to do that. Versus, if you have a very good pass rush, it makes the rest of your, what could arguably a mediocre defense, look phenomenal because of the pressure they're putting on it, right? So balls that would normally be completed are suddenly interceptions because the ball's out when it shouldn't be. It's under pressure, duress, rolling, blah, 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 throwing back foot, etc. So I think that's where, and you're going to see this more as you go up in divisions where the rusher becomes more and more dominant on the defensive side. But there's also a point where the rusher becomes completely obsolete, and then it just becomes gambling on plays. So there's like this weird, can I describe it as like a standard deviation curve type of thing, where once you start getting to about the mid divisions, the rushers kind of climax, I guess, in terms of their efficiency, and then it just comes down to like basically like having, like you said, a well-rounded offense that you can distribute the ball to, so the defense has to gamble every play.
So like for me, the most important non-quarterbacks in this division, Alessio Murrow, primetime. He's had a fabulous season this year, playing both ways. He opens up a lot of avenues for that primetime offense. I look at another guy, too, and this guy may not get the full credit here. William Sagan, cover 3 inches long.
Yes, yeah.
Again, it's not a dynamic offense, but what he does when he gets the ball in his hands is that he just gets touchdowns. He gets yards after catch here. And, those are the two guys I watch out for on defense in terms of what it is overall here. I mean, look, Caden Dewey Hall, we know already. We know him very well. His family's very well known in this league here. Joe Marghesi's very good. But the guy that I like to put the attention towards in how they played this year overall is Ricardo Oliva of the Hot Pasta Boys, right? This is a guy who has had a wonderful season so far, 6 INTs. He's a really good cover corner, and I think he's an important non-quarterback in this division. Thank you, Eagle.
Jeez. Got some breeze down there.
Yeah.
Thank you. I wasn't expecting it, though. That was a very breezy moment.
Mo asked for it.
I know.
Mo asked for me to... I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
It's like a swampland in here. Your non-best quarterbacks.
To your point, or at least counter to your point. One counter to your point and one to your point. You'd think that Raf Morelli of Satrial would be such a difference maker at rush. Yeah. Yet Satrial are struggling in Division E. So that's to counter your point. But Massimo Rosati of Primetime, he joins prime time in Division E, where in the winter season he played with the Royals.
Right.
He was a menace, accumulating 15 sacks in the winter season in 10 games. Through 6 games, he already has 13 sacks, leading the Division E. That would be one for me on the defensive side. Offensively, like I said, the ball distribution on Hale Marty's, there's so many weapons that it can go to, but Brandon Vickers, obviously leading receiver here with 14 TDs, and he's number 2 in yards with 341. Brandon Vickers for me is one of those higher level. And my God, is his rating 55-55? Like, he's been playing maybe just right under that 55-65.
Yeah.
So a ridiculous rating for someone that's played now, in Division C, Division 4, and has that middle division experience playing at a higher pace, where he brings that speed, that knowledge to the game, where it's really a safety blanket for Marty Friedman.
Yeah, I think there's some key non-quarterbacks that will be huge in the playoffs here. And as you said, there's going to be a quarterback, maybe from a fairy team that doesn't play well, that requires the help from the other parts of the machine to make up some plays here. So I think that will happen for them. But I think this is a fascinating thing for Division E, because that's where you start growing yourself and spreading your wings as a quarterback or as a player in this division, or moving up towards the Division E's or in Division D's and 5A's and 5B's and all that stuff that comes with it. All right, on to co-ed 2 and 3.
Yeah, co-ed.
The 4-win team in co-ed 2. So you have the IG team, Pick 6, Vultures, Kiss My End Zones, and Deep Balls. All have 4 wins.
So you're kissing both end zones?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Just to be clear.
Yes. Who among those 4-win teams will get second place?
I've looked at the schedule. Kiss My End Zone played Deep Balls. I think the winner of that game is in prime position to get that second seed. Again, without knowing if IG team have already played Deep Balls, we can just check that real quick. But
IG team has not played Deep Balls yet.
Okay,
but they did beat Fit Squad though. Deep Balls.
Deep Balls did, yes, correct.
Yeah.
Looking really quickly at IG team's remaining schedule, they can run the table. They can go 8. What are they? 8. They would go 8-1-1. So I still think it's the winner of Kiss My End Zone Deep Balls can get that second. No, I'll say no. Sorry, that didn't make sense. If Kiss My End Zone wins the game against Deep Balls, I think they can get the second seed. If not, if they lose, I think IG team gets the second seed.
Are any of the teams at risk of dropping out of playoffs?
No, I think
Of the 4-win
Of the
teams?
4-win teams, yeah.
I don't
No.
think so.
No,
I think they're firmly entrenched as as 5, if not higher.
Yes.
Okay, so look, Vultures might have an issue.
Yeah.
With injuries.
Right.
Rochelle Valier is hurt, and we don't know what the situation is with her moving forward. And that's a big loss. For who knows how long, right? If she is out, that can hurt their depth for the female content.
Oh, big time! Big time. She's one of the top 3 female players in the division.
Yeah,
is she not?
Yeah, exactly. Deep Balls I've watched, they've grown tremendously.
Yeah.
Their biggest issue is going to be quarterback play and being consistent with the quarterback play.
Quarterback play being consistent with the quarterback play.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Putting Trent Dilfer right there.
Okay.
Being that, Kiss My End Zone,
Yeah.
Iggy.
Yes.
Young Iggy. You've had a very turbulent start to the season.
Turbulent start, to the season. We're starting to gel now. And yeah, it's just since when was the loss? Oh no, the
Fit Squad.
Instead of Montreal, they're a good team. Obviously, they're in first place for a reason. But them taking a loss to Pease de la Rize in Never Too Late team. Now William Brouard wasn't there, so that made a big difference, of course, in the number of points that were put up on the board. Are they still a number 1 seed?
No,
No?
I think Fit Squad's in trouble.
Okay.
I think they are lucky that they
So-
beat you guys because they would have been at 3 losses,
Right.
and now
So
they
pick-
don't really control their fate because again, if they went out, they can finish with 16 points. Example: Pig 6 or RG team, they both have 4 games left. If they went out, they
Yeah.
can jump them for 1.
Yeah.
So
So
don't
pick
really
your top
control
2.
their fate.
So pick your top 2. We'll change the question
if,
for you.
If we're gonna go top 2 here, I think
Yeah.
IG team is in there.
Yeah.
And I would put in a close finish, Kiss My End Zone. You're right. You guys are starting to pick it up the pace here than before, and I just think Fit Squad has a little bit of holes in their road that needs to be repaired before they start moving forward here. So I think that's where Vultures might drop a little bit because of the Valier injury.
Yeah.
Deep Balls, I think, is sort of on the outside looking in, where they're good, but if it's all matchup dependent for them.
Yeah, a little bit. You guys spoke about that.
Yeah.
I tend to agree with
Yeah,
that.
so I think that's the situation right now for the top 2, if not number 2 seed as a whole, as well. Okay, so Fit Squad, right? We talk about the rookies. Can the rookies pull off the upset against Fit Squad, or can they bounce back Fit Squad after taking the loss to PZ Del Rizzi?
So, if William Brouard's not there, I think the rookies can pull off the upset. And as we were saying with Fit Squad, looking at the standings, they have the most points for. They've kind of outscored their any problem or any adversity that comes their way, which is a great attribute in flag, by the way. I'm not saying that as a disparity or anything. That is a good attribute to have as a flag football team. But if David Michaud has to go in at quarterback, I think that gives Cedric Maurice, quarterback of the rookies, the ability to go score for score in a game with Fit Squad. So yeah, if Brouard is there, I think they can put up 40 points. Whereas rookies, I think their max cap that they can reach in a game is about 30 to 32 points.
So Fit Squad is 1-2 in outdoor games this year.
Trending here is weather. Are we getting weather analysis like FPF deep dive weather
it's
analysis?
a big difference because Laval's a little bit smaller field, and they excel in these standard fields that we have for FPF.
So, quiz for Eagle. Eagle, you played at Laval.
Yes.
You played at Marie Victorin this Monday. Was that your first time? No, it was not your first time. Which field is wider, Marie Victorin or Laval?
Laval.
They are the exact same width, 34 yards each. Laval is just shorter. It's about 32 yards instead of a true 40-yard end zone, and Marie Vic is about 38, 39. It's very close to 40.
Yeah.
It's just so it makes the appearance makes it seem like it's much wider, but they're actually the same width.
Interesting.
So, I think I'm not saying they're it's like that classic dome weather team, the dome quarterback team. Oh, they can't play in outdoor weather.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
type.
that type of thing. Nothing like that, but it's fascinating that they don't really play well outdoors. I mean, they have trouble against deep balls outdoors.
Yeah.
They beat Beeftons, which was expected outdoors.
Yeah.
And then they barely, they lost to Never
to
Too Late by
Peas,
7, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. They got 2 more outdoor games left. They play the rookies, as you mentioned before, and they will play Pick 6 last game.
That could be tricky for them.
Yeah, that could.
That's a trap game.
Yeah, that could determine their playoff fate if they move ahead here. So I just think that they may not be as jovial in terms of their belief that they can be a number 1 team because again they do have some issues within that team. In Co-Ed 2, who's most likely to win 2-way play of the year amongst Ginsley Alexis, François Rochelot, Lucas Canville, and Benny McMahon, not McMahon?
So someone changed that. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I didn't do it.
I
I
didn't-
actually didn't do it.
McMom.
I didn't do that either, but okay.
Maybe it was Peas. Peas, thank you for switching McMahon to McMom. Of those, so I think François Rochelot is a leading candidate there. I believe he's first in touchdowns right now. If I pull up the stats here, I believe he's first in sacks. And his just ridiculous speed it leads me to believe that he's going to end up being the leader in sacks by season's end.
Mm-hmm.
And just again, his pure speed, his shiftiness will give him yak yards on a 1-yard hook or blowing teams over the top with a 40 bomb.
Hold on, you said yak yards.
Yards after catch yards. Yeah.
It's like the classic. The biggest pet peeve of mine is the
ATM
media.
machine.
No,
In the media.
In the media, when they go, we got NFL football coming up next, NBA basketball action. Well, dude, like you're being redundant now at this point.
Why NBA action?
NBA basketball,
Oh, okay.
NFL football. Like, dude, you said it.
Yeah, but it's a specific brand of football.
Anyway,
It's a CFL football. It's
but
a
they all
three-
say
it's-
they're redundant. Like NHL hockey coming up. Dude, we know it's NHL. You don't have to say hockey at the end. It's redundant. Anyway, carry on.
We got
It is.
a PSA announcement.
Yes. Oh. I thought there was an
Get it?
actual.
No.
Yes, I know, but
Yeah.
I thought there was an actual announcement coming. So François Rochelot actually is fourth. Okay. Rochelot's fourth in sacks right now. Actually, Julian McLaren-Thompson leads the division. That's not a surprise whatsoever. So maybe he won't reach Julian McLaren-Thompson, but he'll reach double-digit sacks. I can almost guarantee that. And being the number one receiver right now with 10 TDs and 345 yards, give me François Rochelot for your two-way player. of the year.
Rochelot has had a good season. Ginsley Lexley is the guy that I might put my money on. Buy low. His stock is low right now, and it could rocket up the ranks
Fair? Yeah.
with the last few games left on their schedule. If he does have a convincing run of stats and wins to add to that, I think he's your two-way player of the year.
I can see that. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, on to Coed 3. As of right now,
Yes.
the two favorites to get the first-round buys are who?
Why is this a clip segment?
I don't know.
Eagle?
You're not supposed to read that part.
Yeah, I don't care.
I didn't read the part. He did.
Hello, person making this clip. I apologize for the edit job you now have to do.
Yes. Okay, so I'll go first.
Oops. That kind of segment.
I'll go first. I'm going to go Drink Team and Thunder Buddies. Those are the two teams that I've been impressed by in Coed 3. They got some good weapons on both sides of the football
Yeah.
here. Terry Bablis is the quarterback for, oh my God, that's the
Thunder Buddies.
Thunder Buddies. I
Yes.
was thinking Thundercats, not Thunder Buddies. Very good. Quarterback play for Drink Team is, I think it's trying to figure it out now, right? Alex Royale is a good guy.
Who's the quarterback?
Daryl Dorsley, that's the thing. I think they're going to figure it out, right? But
Like, it's by committee and just who's present at the field that day.
Perhaps.
Like, while both are decent quarterbacks and definitely enough to win you and be atop the division in Coed 3, you need stability at the quarterback position, build chemistry with your receivers.
for sure.
So I'm a little worried there, but continue.
Yeah, I think those two, but I think Dream Team can really put up points. And when you look at Thunder Buddies and how they are, they've gotten better game by game. I think Terry Babylon Club has done a better job at quarterback for him, for his growth at that position, especially on one leg, given what he suffered. But he's got a lot of playmakers surrounding him that helps in terms of his confidence to grow at that position. And I think those are the two teams I'm thinking that will get the number one, get the first round buys going to the playoffs.
I'll go with two. I'll go with one team that's the same and one that's different. While I did say that Drink Team need to find stability at the quarterback position, I also did say that they are good enough to be leaders in the division with either of the quarterbacks,
Yeah.
especially with either. If it's not one or the other, you put the other at receiver, and they're just as effective, if not more, at playmaking and getting first downs and getting touchdowns. But it's Erica Magini. She's one of the best female players in the division. So Drink Team for me, very solid overall as a team. My second team, Fast and Furious 3. I do see what you're saying in terms of an attack in Thunder Buddies, but they got exposed on their defense by
Right.
1-9ers. If the minute someone has enough speed, someone like Luca Canvel, hands and size and speed, and Alex Blais, they got exposed. They let 45 or more so, and Terry's not yet at the position where he can consistently score 45 or more.
Oh, man, I'm going to hear from Terry on Monday.
Okay.
Hey, you don't think I score 45 or more? That was
He can do it in a game, but can he do it 4 rounds in a playoff
I'm
round?
going to hear from Terry Babylon Club.
Whereas that rotation at quarterback with Drink Team, Ryan Dobbs Garnett now quarterbacking in Division D. He's getting as many reps as he can where he can. And being the full-time quarterback for Fast and Furious 3 has surrounded himself with great weapons, right?
Yeah.
You got Alex Noel. You got Oriella Poirier. Justin Gauthier sometimes is here in and out of the lineup. Alex Laroche, very experienced. You got Diana James Landry. Xavier Couture, him too. He's kind of in and out of the lineup. Maybe he's going to reach that 5 games played. But like I was saying, Diana James Landry. Now their core of women are very solid. That was always the knock on Fast and Furious 3. Lauriane Bouchard have all proven to be very key contributors to the offense and the defense, and that makes Fast and Furious 3 a very dangerous team.
All right.
5-0.
The next question, you might have a better answer grip of this because you know it better than I do. The clear-cut favorite to win Best Female Player of the Year in this division is who? Is it Olivia Sormani or Erica Mangini?
So both have actually put up very consistent and very top 10, top 15 worthy numbers in the division. Olivia Sormani of Pig 6 is actually just pulling that up here, the internet.
You don't say that on air, by the way.
15th. Yes, you say it all the time. God damn it. 15th in the.
PC does.
Yes, great. Then I'm sitting in the Piesler seat here.
Yes.
She's 15th overall with 5 touchdowns and her 228 yards.
Mm-hmm.
17 receptions, though, on 28 attempts. I've seen a couple of those drops. She could easily be at 300 yards, 6 or 7 touchdowns right now. So if she can even, make 50% more of the catches based on the drops, so like 3 or 4 more receptions, she could be at 300 yards, 6 or 7 touchdowns. But for me, really, the answer is Erica Mangini, especially having seen her play this past Monday. She's versatile offensively as a receiver, defensively with key interceptions and sacks, and they put her in at quarterback because of the score, how the score went where they were up so big. She threw like a beautiful touchdown strike. So I'm like, what? Like out of nowhere, she's rising out of the ashes, becoming the next Rachel Varian, but a triple threat really in co-ed 3. So to me, it's Erica.
All right, on to Division B. There are, now the questions have been changed, which I apologize. I should have done it before. Okay, so you have Beers and Browns at 5-1. Below that, Poseidon's Kiss, Bless, Mangoose at 4 wins. Then you have B-Raz, Ambush. So we'll look at B-Raz and Ambush as the 2 teams to look at here. Do you think one of these teams can be a threat to the top end of the division?
Of course. Both are. This division's insanely competitive from, I'd say, the 6 or 7 seed above. I really think any one of those teams can beat any of the other teams on any given night. And purely 1 or 2 mistakes can cost you the game. And even that even rings true with Jomayer in the B-Raves.
Yeah.
You wouldn't normally think that. But with a new receiving core that seems to be switching every week, they can't get like a consistent roster to show up and play for the B-Raves. When he just seems a little off, and he can't seem to run his exact same Braves offense. And for me, it's especially on the extra points. Joe Meyer, is he going for 1 or for 2? Mocon.
He's going for 2 all the time.
He's going for 1 every single time with this team. So it's just little things like that like it just doesn't look like the same team. So yes, even Joe Meyer will make 1 or 2 mistakes perhaps in this division. And so really the division's wide open, and that's what makes it really so fun.
Yeah, I'm intrigued, and I know you have the Ambush question, which we'll talk about now. So we'll come on to 2 as 1. Ambush, they're starting to run out of games again, right? Because they're at 7 along with Mangoose, and they may not be a top 3 team, but they're a team that I don't want to play in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think they are in a position where their strength lies in the supporting cast of what they have. James Drysdale, Kevin Donnett, the Submersion brothers, James O'Hayan, who's only played 2 games so far, so he'll need to run it and get the final 3 to be playoff eligible if he's going to do so. But they have probably everyone pretty much. The submergers will hit the 5. They need 2 more to do it. But James O'Hagan will be the guy to watch out for if he can.
I think he replaced early on when the submergers were still suspended. Yeah.
Right. So their defense, that's the thing, though. Can they create turnovers? They have not done as much. They only have 4 INTs through 7 games, and that's not going to be good enough against the better quarterbacks in this division. But I'll be curious that the ambush squad will be the one to watch out for. B-Ravs, we know who they are, what they are. You mentioned before, as you illustrated before, again, changing the whole geometry of going from 1 and 2. But ambush is who I'm watching out for. And now you mentioned ambush in our notes here against Mangoose.
Oh, what a game.
So explain to us what happened with
Oh,
this
my
game.
God. Just absolute barn burner. It was like a boxing match. Punches left and right, sucker punches. There were score for score, just 40-yard bombs, driving the field, 4th down attempts where Nick Schaefer's running around in the backfield, scrambling. Nathan Corlow chasing him down, heaves one up to the middle of the field of Marvin to get the first down. Just absolute barn burner of a game.
What type of boxing are you watching? Because there hasn't been an
know.
exciting boxing game in like 30 years, essentially. Boxing match.
Oh,
What
no,
you're
there's
describing.
Name
one.
Ones.
I can't, but
Andre Ward, he had a good couple fights
okay.
there.
Mo will do
Yeah.
it.
Lomachenko's had some decent fights, too.
There was just
He's a great fighter, Lomachenko.
There's just
I like him a lot. Are
there
you a
was-
boxing fan, Eagle?
But like back and forth, like KOs, sucker punches, and everything, that hasn't happened
but
in
there's-
forever.
There's like there was electricity around this game. Like it was just
I mean, I sure hope so. Otherwise, you play in the dark.
Yeah, it's not what we want at FPF.
So in the end, Mangoose come to tie up the game 40 apiece. Leave ambush 5 plays remaining. They score. Phil Roberts really one play drives them all the way down to the 5-yard line. 2 plays remaining, and Benny McMahon, quick shovel pass or quick hitch pass to Kevin Donnett, easy score. Ambush go up 46-40, and Sean Submergent for extra point 1, all alone front cone, drops a relatively low ball near his feet, but no one around him. Absolutely all alone. Drops an extra point convert here. So they are 46-40 and leave 1 play to Nick Schaefer, who I believe in this division is the team that you do not want to leave 1 play with. I think Nick Schaefer, other than Kevin Wyeth and perhaps Jomayer, I think Nick Schaefer's the best Hail Mary thrower of a football in FPF. Outside again of Kevin Wyeth and Jomayer. The number of times I've seen him throw a Hail Mary and just let his guys go up and get a ball, whether it was James Drysdale back in the winter and fall seasons of the past, or Marvin Steinberg in this one, another Hail Mary completion, Marvin Steinberg, and one on James Drysdale this time. So very, very strange turn of events there. And Mangoose get the extra point to win a thrilling 47-46 game. It was just an absolute treat to watch. No one could do anything. Of course, everyone knows what's going to happen with Thomas Coutu, and no one can stop it. Another 116-yard performance, 11 receptions, 4 touchdowns. You know what he's running. It's 3 routes, and no defense can seem to stop him.
If you're Ben McMahon, how pissed are you? You
Yes,
literally go almost perfect.
It was a perfect game. I told him the only thing you did wrong, and honestly, you got to trust your defense. You should have, you could have thrown the last ball to the ground and win and score on the last play of the game to leave Nick Schaefer 0 plays.
But congratulations to Tomakatu, 500 career receptions.
Oh, damn. Wow.
500 career receptions.
And where does that rank in the records book? If you want to just take a look at that.
I will look at it
While
right
while I
now.
ask Eagle, is there a team that you would like? How many teams do you need to throw the ball away?
God, nowhere near, nowhere near anyone.
What's number 10?
Let's put it this way:
Receptions?
His 500 would be 1/4 of what Jad Reedy has at 2015.
Yeah, he's not. He's nowhere close. Nowhere close.
Dang. Yeah. So the number of teams that you would want to leave, that you're comfortable leaving 1 play with, or that you need to like drain all the plays and score on the last play. How many teams in this division are you comfortable leaving 1 play remaining with?
It's hard to say, and actually, as the game is evolving, as a defensive captain, I'm starting to look at last plays, like one plays, very differently. Because right now, the way that people have played it is you send a rusher, right? And then you just force them to try and throw the ball early. But most of the time, it doesn't matter. The ball's in the air anyways, and then it's just jumping for the ball. And I'm starting to consider the pressure on does the pressure on the quarterback actually change anything in that situation, right? Like, if you have one more person overloading your end zone, they're going to run. Great, that's what you want. They're going to throw the ball. You can actually have enough time to establish position if they're after 10. So putting pressure on the quarterback doesn't actually do anything, and having the extra defender might actually help you.
Okay, so
you didn't say it, but did you just say not to send a rusher?
For last play, one play left.
I'm not against that.
Okay,
what does the rusher do? He forces the ball to come out early, but the ball comes out anyways. It's going downfield. They have the arm for it, so who cares?
Well, you just said the last thing. If they have the arm for it,
but they do at that level. They do. Like none of these teams here, I would say, like, oh yeah, like any of them, if they're down by one score with one play left, can put the ball in the end zone, and that can be a game over.
All right.
Yeah.
It's very simple here, guys.
Yeah.
When it comes to Hail Marys in the end zone, teams don't know how to defend it properly. Simple as that.
Well, it's not that you don't know how to defend it properly. It's that the ball's high in a spot, and everyone collapses towards it, and random shit happens. And so it's coming to the point where I'm starting to realize the overload of your players versus their players gives you the advantage in that situation.
Yeah. This will be interesting to see if anyone applies your logic here, Eagle, in the coming weeks.
All right. Speaking of logic, ECW at 1-7, are they done? If so, who's the second team? Hold on here. Who's the second team that is in most trouble missing the playoffs?
Yeah, so right now, EZW in last place there in the 10th poll. Who's that second team that's really in trouble? Is it Run It Once? Is it Beer Belly? Is it Silent Ticklers? Is it Ambush? For you, it's not Ambush.
No,
right?
I think it's Beer Belly Brigade. I know the Brian Rossi, we were impressed by him last week. I think he will help them. Not enough bandwidth to kind of get this team going in the right direction. I think this team misses Falcon, what he brings as a elusive quarterback with his feet and the ingenuity of his arm to really make a play or two. I think Beer Belly Brigade is a team that I'm going to circle as to watching out for. I think Silent Ticklers will get out of the red zone and get themselves back into the green territory.
Yeah.
I think Running Once will figure it out. And I think Ambush is fine. B-Raz is fine.
Yeah.
But Beer Belly Brigade is my team that I think is in trouble going towards the final 5 games of the schedule, because what they have left on their schedule, as I get the schedule up and running here, as it takes its time, and I don't know why it's taking this time for.
Well, Beer Belly, I think offensively, I think adding Jason Rossi is it helps them keep their season alive. So who do they have left?
So you're going to lose to Beers and Brownie. Okay, they're going to lose to you guys. They're going to lose to Blessed. Silent Ticklers will beat them. That's the game they have to win, which they won't. Ambush, they'll lose, and B-Ravs. They're not going the next 5.
That's tough.
Yeah.
All schedules are tough, but
and keep in mind, ECW has B-Raves and Run It Once left on their schedule, and they basically need both of those wins to stay competitive, because one won't be enough because there's a 3. And if not that, they will have the worst points against.
Now, I'll give you this. Last night, Blessed played EZW, and EZW had a lead with about 6 minutes left in this game. It was, I believe, 26-20, or it was a tie game, 26-26, with about 2 minutes left. EZW couldn't punch it in. I remember this. The EZW went up 26-20. Steve drives the field with about 4 minutes left, goes for 2 points to go up by, converts it to go up by 2. And I think I mixed up my scores, but that would have made it 28-20 for Bless. Forcing EZW to drive the field, they do, but aren't as comfortable as Bless and Steve going for 2, in my opinion. You could really tell they was taking an extra 10 seconds in the huddle and ultimately don't convert. But they gave Blessed a run for their money, and I wonder if – and Bless just seemed a little off. Like they seemed – not as invested in the game as when I played against them, for example, or when I've seen Steve play against Joe Mayer. You could tell they were playing down a little bit to EZW, but credit to EZW, they were doing everything they needed to stay competitive in that game. I wonder if other teams maybe play down to them, and they shouldn't be overlooked in those games, and if they're in it in the last 2 minutes of the game, anything can happen.
Yeah, I think in terms of the Blast, they had a bit of referee switcheroo, and they weren't really in flow right away. There was a whole bunch of scheduling conflicts that happened, so that might be the thing. But again, I think Beer Belly Brigade's the team I'm going to circle moving forward. I think they're in trouble going towards the final 5 games. Okay, women's. So the big story is that Rochelle Valliere is hurt. She got hurt in the first 5 minutes of the Red Nation Supernova game, which they lost. Supernova crushed them. Chelsea Britton successfully ran slants in the red zone and with great time and execution. Okay, so now we look at it this way. Red Nation could be they're going to make the playoffs. I think that's a foregone conclusion now, Iggs. But the loss of Valliere for who knows how long, we're not sure what the situation is right now. If she's out long term, does that hurt their chances? If it's short term, are they okay and can they survive until she maybe gets back and left towards the playoffs, if that's the case to be?
Look, in the short term, I don't see them winning many games without her. So that could drop them all the way down to the 7th seed, which I believe
Bit has it right now.
Yeah,
which got clobbered by Le Petit Miette.
Yeah, so Red Nation have The Rock, Blue Thunder, Les Petites Miettes, and BIT left on their schedule.
Yeah.
The one thing I am absolutely worried about is they have 74 points for, of which half of those, because the 6 touchdowns plus I'm sure a few extra points, if I go to Converge here. Yes, exactly that. Literally half their points are driven by Rachel Valliere herself. So half your offense has dried up overnight. Yeah. Literally.
So that puts you at like 6 to 12 points per game, like max.
You're in trouble.
So yeah, you're definitely in trouble. Maybe that keeps you competitive in the BIT game. Maybe if your defense can hold.
No, BIT's got some players on that team.
So
they got a pass rusher on that team. Sorry, they got a pass rusher on that team for that they played Petite Miette yesterday. Let me get the name so I correctly give her the proper kudos here. The pass rusher, she had a marvelous game yesterday for what she did for them. As I get the numbers up here,
Maria Manseri.
Maria Manseri. She is when they play Alex Sobel, she's going to be problems.
She's good. Yeah. She's very good. I've seen her play with Athena Ryan last year, and yes, she's very good. She poses a lot of problems. So yeah, even that one where that's their chance to get another victory, get their 3rd victory on the season, late in the season. That's going to be a problem. So they could fall all the way down to the 7th seed. Where they would have to face Supernova again, the team they just faced off with. Did you catch that game?
I do not. No. It was Laval.
Right on Sunday, right? That didn't look great for them. No. If that's a glimpse of what maybe their first round playoff matchup would be, it's not looking good for them.
Yeah. Speaking of greatness, the Petite Miette beat BIT 32-6. They're starting to come on.
Yeah.
MCV is starting to come on really well. She had a bit of a slow start out of the blocks, but she's played very well. Marie-Pierre Dalpé is a great receiver.
Yep.
That ingenuity, that rapport they have is they can be blindfolded and they'll still make plays, right? And Athena Ryan was slow out of the gates. We mentioned Manseri before. She had a really good second half. That's the one thing about BIT. They have to be a little bit better, more alert in terms of the first half, which they weren't, and they just fell behind 26-0, couldn't catch up. And I just think that the Petite Miette are sneaking up the ladder here, Iggs, and they are going to be – they're peaking at the right time, maybe a little bit too early here, but they're peaking at the right time to really fortify their top 4 standing going towards the playoffs.
So do you mean by BIT's awareness? Do you mean like their game awareness or like
there's a little bit of aloof coming out of the blocks,
right? Yeah,
you can't be against MCV. She's a really good quarterback.
Yep.
Intense, but she's very good at what she does, though.
Yeah, and even the game prior to their victory 32-6 over a BIT, I don't think I would have predicted a 33-12 loss to Sub-Zero. Keeping Sub-Zero under 50 points is an accomplishment, in my opinion. And to even put up 12 against that Olympic-sized roster and team in Sub-Zero, 33-12 is, something to hang your hat on. And something, to me, that you were looking for Les Petits Miettes to show improvements. Did they not play earlier? No, they didn't play. If they played Sub-Zero game 1 of the season, I could have seen a 60-6 score line, 60-0, thinking it was a forfeit or something.
Yeah.
So to only lose 33-12, and then to show, I you know what? I think having played that game and then having played BIT 2 days later really served them in a great way to play such a high level of competition, and then to play a lower caliber team in BIT and really turn the tables, the way Sub-Zero did to them.
Mm-hmm.
It's you gain learning experiences out of those losses, and I think MCV is one of those quarterbacks who can learn and is learning even within this season.
Maya DeFazio of X and X.
Yeah.
4 TDs, 12 INTs, 902 yards passing, 86 of 220. Is her head coach, Gino DeFazio.
220 passes?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, well, it's women's, right? Women's, you have more passing than you do in men's.
That's a lot. Look at the other quarterbacks. No one's attempted that, and she's played 6 games.
Yeah.
That's a lot of it. Her arm must be falling off.
Is Gino DeFazio ruining the confidence of Maya DeFazio? And what tips would you give Maya DeFazio? Because she looks like a headless chicken out there at times who does not have the confidence to be a quarterback.
So, I haven't seen full games. Maybe you have. I've seen here and there. She can throw the football. She can throw it. Now, is she making the right reads? Is she? I've seen some balls where there's double coverage and throwing it right into double coverage. So there could be question marks there. But as kind of like Gino, as a natural thrower of the football, she can throw the football. She can and like with touch, with a spiral, with power, like it can get to where it needs to be. The thing that would need to be worked on is just reading the field, reading the defenses. I was talking about this with Eagle. One of the things I learned quickly was don't look at your receiver. Look at the defense and see what they're doing. And then kind of have a general idea of where your receiver should be. If you're running a 5 out, you should have a general idea of the depth at which they're running at.
Right.
And this is where quarterbacks get upset that people are running 10 outs instead of 5 or even 7 yards when you get in the higher divisions. So to read the defenses, really look at the defenses and not at your receivers. And I think early on, it's just drive the field. Put the ball in your receivers' hands. Let them make the plays. Your job is to get them the ball. Get them the ball on a 2-yard out, on a 2-yard hook. Make the play designs, and now I'm combining a few things here, but make the play designs allow you to hit a 1-yard hook. And if they take the 1-yard hook away, okay, well then have, say, a 10 out over on top of that, so that if a defense crashes on the one hook, have a 10-yard out, or maybe for Maya, maybe a 7-yard out, right? Have a high-low concept. So reading defenses instead of your receivers, hit the quick stuff. Flag's all about hitting the short stuff. Girls, guys, we all miss flags. So get them receivers your balls, and then play design to open up once those underneath routes are taken away.
And guys, Gino's been coaching for a while, right?
Yeah.
Besides obviously playing on his own teams, being on the bench for some of the men's teams, coaching in co-ed, coaching junior, and now coaching a women's team. And so I trust him to be able to figure this out and bring in new subs to win games.
Yeah, he will. He will. He definitely will bring new subs.
What a setup.
He's got a farm team of subs out there for sure. All right, so in women's 2, you have a bunch of teams, seeds 3 through 6. That would be the Petite Miette, Wolfpack, Red Nation, Blue Thunder. If we had a tournament with those 4 teams alone, who's coming out as the queens of the manor?
Well, given, and we'll use the rosters of today. So given that Red Nation has lost their centerpiece, I'll just rank them. Or you know what, tournament. So if after a round robin set of games, I would go Wolfpack 1. Le Petit Miette would come in second place. Third place, Blue Thunder, and fourth, Red Nation. You then have Wolfpack playing Red Nation. Wolfpack would win that to go to the finals. And give me Le Petit Miette to go to the finals against Wolfpack. And it's a close one-score game, but I'll go Wolfpack to win that little tournament there.
Yeah, I think Petit Miette is my team.
Okay. I have them in the final, so I see that.
Yeah, Red Nation, Blue Thunder kind of tailed off a little bit here. Petit Miette, I think, would win the 4-team battle here. I think they are clicking at the right time.
They can score.
They can definitely score points here.
It's just their defense. They've let out 141 points.
Yeah, I think they'll figure it out, the defense, sooner than later here. But I'll take the Petit Miette. So right now, Sub-Zeros is running with Division 1. We spoke about it a little bit last week here, Iggs, but right now...
Well, are they really running away with it? Because Waz, I mean... Besides the one game they've lost, their points for has been close-ish. Their points against has been actually better than Sub-Zero at the end of the day and everything. So it's not that they're running away with it. Just that when you look at the field, Sub-Zero is by far the stronger team, at least from what we can see.
Yeah, look, I've seen Waz play a couple of times now. They're good. They're good. But Sub-Zero is legit Mortal Kombat.
Sure. Yes.
They are. What's? Hold on. I'm blanking
By
right
the way,
now.
it looks good, eh? MK1?
It does look good. Can you just refresh my memory here?
The better MK, for the record.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. The last
The
character.
boss.
Can you say finish him?
Yes. The last boss.
No, but can you say it?
Yes.
Finish
The last boss in Mortal Kombat, the
The
original
one with like
Warcraft.
Which one?
With like
The
six,
original one.
With like the,
The original one?
Yeah, six
Shao
arms.
Kahn?
That's his name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot his name. Thank
Khan.
Yeah.
you. That's who Sub-Zero are.
His distant relative.
Yeah, distant relative. That's who they are.
Finish him!
Yeah.
him.
Anyway.
Okay. Yes. When you see
The guy with the broadcast voice is not doing it.
Yeah, I know.
No,
I know.
care less. I'm preserving my voice.
Jesus Christ.
Good thing you're not with Bell, or you definitely would have been cut today.
That's tough day. Tough day.
Hashtag too soon.
When you've seen Wasp play,
Yeah.
who's quarterbacked, and have they had both quarterbacks on the field?
When I saw him play last week in the rain, it was
Andréane,
Caderac, who was a quarterback. She's a good quarterback.
Was man, her name always.
Bransard was not there.
Emmanuel Bransard.
She was
Okay.
not there.
So I saw them on Sunday morning in the beautiful outdoors of Loyola.
It was very hot that day.
It was hot, yeah. They had both players present, and to my surprise, Emmanuel Bransard was not the starting quarterback. It was Andréane Caderet. I think they should go Bransard.
She's a better option, yes.
Now, it's fine if they go with Caderet, but then if they want to beat Sub-Zero, they need a lot more double quarterback plays. Like, you got to play to your strengths. Emmanuel Bransard, if you can just trick in the middle of the field, trick Sub-Zero with an unexpected double quarterback play, I think that could just give them that extra push that they need to beat a team like Sub-Zero. Play to your strengths, right?
Right.
So I think they need more double quarterback plays.
That can really screw up teams, right? But I think Sub-Zero is just, there's the machine.
Yeah.
They are a machine that has an engine that's not been discovered yet. They're kind of like Max Verstappen right now in the F1. That's what they are. They are like an F1 engine right now.
It is F1 weekend, right, in
It is
Montreal.
So Waz is Perez, basically?
Yeah, pretty much. Sergio Perez, exactly. It's going to be a wet one in Montreal, huh?
Probably.
Oh, that sucks. I feel awful.
Is that what WAS stands for?
No, they told Leo Gervais. I didn't pay attention.
Oh, they told Leo? I
Yeah.
didn't catch.
I didn't pay
I don't.
attention.
Someone asked me, "It's like, what does WAS stand for?" I'm like, I don't know.
They told Leo.
Weeks of supply. It's a KPI in retailers.
Oh God, weeks of supply. Oh my.
All
Work
right.
order system. Also.
Okay, it is now time to recap Division C.
Whoa, Mo! There, you're catching the viewers off guard.
Yes, Division C.
Yeah.
It is the Taking the Bullets Bowl game here between Hot Sauce Sports.
The what
and
now?
Taking Bullets Bowl game here.
You're taking bullets for peas, right?
Yes, it was.
You wanna once again say how you took bullets for peas without peas here.
I was a coward for not defending the idea that teams should be up in higher divisions when they got cracked the previous season. So Backyard Blues took on HSS.
Yeah,
You were there.
I was there.
So break down the Taking Bullets Bowl game here.
So both quarterbacks actually didn't have their finest of games. A lot of missed passes, again, from both quarterbacks, drop balls from receivers as well. Probably hard to catch balls. Look, for me, not many people know me more as a receiver, but I was a receiver first. If it's in the vicinity of you, and by that I mean if you can reach your arms around, you should catch the ball.
Right.
And perhaps Pease had to put balls in a particular spot because of the pressure that GM was putting on him, or a specific angle that a DB was taking that I perhaps didn't have from the sideline, but made tough throws for receivers to make catches, but I expect certain receivers to make those catches. So key drops on both sides of the ball, especially on key downs. Justin Blanchard playing against a man defense in Rich Humes.
Right.
Pease wasn't able to hit the post in front of Justin, so Humes was able to bat that one down on fourth down. Chadwick unable to come up with a big fourth down conversion on 4th and 2, 4th and 3 on their own side of the territory. And when Sean Avram needed to hit the deep ball, and when Pease needed to hit the deep ball, Sean Avram did with Derek Fontana, and Pease couldn't. And that was really the keys to the game.
So you're saying Pease to the bullets then?
Pease took the bullets to the chest.
Not to the forehead.
No. He's fine. He survived. He's just to the chest.
You're taking the bullets bowl game.
Yes.
Wow, 39 passing attempts, for Peasy. Yikes.
That's standard for Pease.
Yes, that's a lot.
He told Sean Avram he should be in Division D.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure those 39 pass attempts solidified why he should be in Division D. Look, I think backer bullies, give them the benefit of the doubt to be in this division, because
they should not be. They should not be in Division B. They're definitely
they're
not a Division B team.
They're not.
They having really seen them play. Look, at the end of the day, what did we have? We had a 5. They were undefeated, 5-0, I believe, going into the game, playing against a 1-4 hot sauce team, and no one was able to fully take control of this game. So, what does that say about backyard bullies? To me, it says that they've had a relatively easy schedule up until this point.
Okay, but that's not their fault.
It's not a true. That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying they're not a Division B team. I'm saying they're 6-0, but are they really 6-0? Like, their schedule's been easy. So and it was a 1-score game against a 1-4 team. Like, let's look at the facts here. And so,
do I hear false king statement?
That's what I'm saying.
I think it is.
That is what I'm saying.
They got Diamond Bougie coming up week 10.
Oh, they're getting cracked.
Okay,
They're getting cracked.
Now I need a graphic with Sean Avram with a crown. It'd be hilarious.
we can do that.
Or a jester hat. I like jester better, I think.
Diamond Bougie finally, well, not finally, but they finally, I want to say finally, because if there's another Diamond Bougie Kiss My In-Laws team, they put a roster that's better than mine and are the favorites in Division C.
Okay, I will find out. I think the schedule's not their fault because it's a very big division of 25.
Yeah.
So it's a random order, right? So this is what they were given.
Or is it? No, it is.
Scheduling.
Yeah, you look at your coffee
Preferences.
Okay, among the two-win teams in this division here, you got repeat offenders, Dirty Birds, top season, Infantry, LBB, Never Overtime, Flag, Fools. Is there someone on the green side of the standings right now at 2 wins that could drop into the red territory?
The 2-win teams?
Yes.
Yes. Next question.
Like,
yes,
this team is in trouble. Like, you're going to say, yeah, they are in trouble.
I'm going to go with LBB. I think all the other teams, top season, I don't know how they're 2-3. That is not a 2-3 team. Infantry, I'm not worried about, although maybe you could make a case that you should be worried for Infantry. Dirty Birds and repeat offenders, too much talent to not make the they'll stay in the green. For me, it's LBB.
I think right now, top season, I'm a little bit worried about right now. They just been inconsistent with the roster.
But when their full roster is there, they're one of the best teams, and not just because they beat me. They're really, really good. They're
Yeah,
really good.
they worry me right now. Of can they be more consistent now than
Sure.
where they were in the middle part of the season? And I circle them as being a team that could drop out. LBB had a glorious chance to go to 3-4 in the
Yeah.
season and kind of skunked it.
Oof. Yeah.
But I think in terms of that notion, top season could be on that list. But I think LBB could be the one that drops out, and we see either flag fools or never overtime jumping back in for number 20.
Their offenses in never overtime and flag fools will just keep them in games. Flag fools, I think, have had just a really brutal schedule because they're putting up 30-plus points every game, and that, sometimes even hitting 40, that should win you 60 to 70% of your games.
Right.
And right now they're just getting beat because teams are putting 47 or 50 on them. So they've really had a tough schedule. So I'm not too them too. They can kind of work their kinks out by just outscoring their problems, and never overtime. Starting 0-4 have now won two in a row by again just their offense and putting up their points with Ryan Carouf, and now adding Nicolas Pierre-Mas to the mix as he's back in town.
Yes, he is back in town. Okay. Junkyard Dogs, they've won 2 in a row. They took out Commission. They took out Infantry. They're 3-3. They got 4 games left. They got All Madden top season, Air Force 1.2, and Dirty Birds. So I think they can go 3-1 in that schedule that they have. Have they found their footing to put themselves in that top 10 discussion of the division, where they are now going to be a threat going towards the final 4 games plus playoffs?
Well, they started the season 1-3, and have rattled off 2 wins in a row. One against the Commission last Thursday. I caught a bit of that, and you caught the game against the Infantry at Stade de Montréal.
Yeah.
This is a really, as a roster, name-wise at least, and even talent-wise, like they should be a top 10 team in Division C. With Jason Rossi throwing the ball, he can dissect defenses. With Chris Brockwell, one of the more reliable snappers in the division. Again, one of those prototypical, doesn't look fast. Give it when you look at him up front, given his height and his large stature. He's quicker than most teams realize. If you don't know him, they have a good blend of older veterans and the young, youthful exuberance of guys like Justin Gauthier and Auriel Lapoirier, guys we mentioned in Co-Ed 3 with Fast and Not Furious. I think it's a good, very good blend, and even Rashawn Perry, right? So you have that higher division level talent, the experience, the youth, the athleticism. It's a perfectly combined. You have height, you have speed, you have a bit of everything with this team, and to me, it is a top 10 team. It's just, can their defense come up with big stops at the beginning of games? Because they had to pull out a 30-point comeback against LBB in order to get one of those wins early on in the season. Can their defense put them in positions where the offense is already expected to put up points, to really put them in a better position to game manage and really be 2 scores instead of 1 score up on teams?
It's all on Auriel Poirier to be the guy for them. He is a destroyer on both sides of the football. He's a mismatch problem for opponents on offense when he's a receiver. He just wins his 50-50s.
Yeah.
It's like you're guaranteed he can be blindfolded with one arm tied behind his back, and he will catch that ball in style and profile going in for a 40 bomb. He has made it so much easier for Jason Rossi's offense to evolve and become more dynamic for what he brings as a field stretcher and being able to open up things for the underneath stuff here. I also think that with this roster, Justin Gauthier at that position of 2A, he's also, you said it perfectly, a youthful exuberance that brings to this roster that has been lacking. Rashawn Perry's good. He's got to be a little bit more firm in picking off the ball. He could have ended off the game on an INT in his own end zone, which was not the case, but they ended up winning the football game.
Right.
But now with 4 games left here, 3-3, they can easily be 6-4 going to the playoffs here. Borderline top 10 team. But Auriel Poirier is the guy that I think will be the key to this team. He is the passport to victory for them. And if he is the guy that's going to be stamping that passport, they might surprise a few teams going to the playoffs and maybe be a late participant in late July, early August.
Can you stamp your own passport, though?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
I know people have done it.
Not legal, though.
It's not. Thanks a lot, McGruff.
Thanks.
Only you can take a bite out of crime. All right, on to Division D. This is your question here, Iggs.
It is.
About roster building and who you would take in Division D. So you were talking about building a roster. If you take one player from offense, one player from defense that can play at the next level, say Division 2, maybe Division 1, or even Div 3, who you got for one offensive and one defensive player from this division?
Yeah, so this is kind of a rising stars segment here, and given the Jeff Rosenblatt and even my the scouting abilities of the higher division quarterbacks, always looking to see who's the next diamond in the rough. So for me, give me Yvan Desjardins. He can play in the higher divisions. I'd say
Well, he has already with Div 3 with Junkyard Dogs.
Div 3
Yeah.
Junkyard Dogs?
Yeah.
Okay, well then fine. Then I'll go with Emerson Peterkin of X-Men. He's one of those rising stars in FPF, whether it's a quarterback position, receiver, DB. I think he could, maybe he won't be on a starting roster to start, but if he's your 6th or 7th guy, I think he can enter the rotation and not be a liability. I think he's a playmaker on both sides of the ball. He can get you maybe that one interception that turns the tides, manning up on the 6th or 7th best receiver on an opposing Division 2 or 3 team. So that's one player. I'll give him more the offensive touch. For defense, do you have a name for?
Yeah, let me. You think of your defensive guy? I'll go
yeah.
offense. Nicholas Vaughn is one of my favorite players on offense.
Him too's already playing Division C.
He's had a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
But
true.
in terms of Division 2, Division 1, the kid gets it. He's smart out there. He may be a little bit lean in terms of size, but that doesn't deny him the ability to make a play on a football.
This is offensively, right?
Yeah, offensively.
Okay.
And I think
Okay.
he's a guy that, with his size and with his maturity as he physically grows and gets better at this game here, I think he's a guy that I would build around as my draftable player for an offensive weapon to use in Division D. So Nicholas Vaughn is a guy that I would look at moving forward.
Defensively, if I'm Jeff Rosenblatt or so, I'd be looking at one of the big fat bat players, Ryan McNally.
I don't know if you can count him. He's a McGill defensive back.
Currently leading Division D with 7 interceptions.
Starting bench warmer.
Okay, so, he could be the starting 6-man award. We should get a 6-man award in FPF, although that's just the basketball thing. So yeah, if I'm Jeff Rosenblatt, I'm scouting Ryan McNally on the defensive side of the ball. Like I said, has already 7 picks, 2 of which he's taken to the house. 5 PDs. Turn 2 of those into interceptions. He's close to 9 or double digits there. So give me Ryan McNally to eventually perhaps play in the higher division.
Yes, Eagle.
Mo, what bench did you ride when you were younger?
I rode the one that you rode on
What?
in gym class.
The bench warmers?
Yeah, that's what he is.
Ivan, we didn't actually make the teams.
Yes.
So Mo's just taking shots because he's having fun with it.
I'm having fun with it, indeed. I actually had a good line for you, but I didn't want to see it on air. I'll say it to you off air. It might revoke my invitation. Let's put it that way. The guy that I would actually
He just got it.
Eagle's done for the day.
Classic.
He's done, Eagle. Oh God, we're gonna be fired from this. We don't care. We're not gonna be here in fall anyway. We're gonna be all gone. Literally all gone.
Breaking news: Rob selling league to Bell.
Da-na-na, da-na-na.
Ashton Miller is
Yeah.
the guy for Stallions. He doesn't play many games because he has his Queen's commitment.
Yeah.
If he played a full season, this kid's a real deal. Like
Yes.
he's really good.
Yes,
I think
yes,
he can play
yes.
Division 2 easily.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of him. Really good player. Great size. Both ways, offense and defense. But he definitely has that ability. I mean, he had 4 INTs in 2 games.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy. If you prorate that, I mean, this kid is going to have 20 for the season, right? But that's not going to be the case now. But Ashton Miller's the guy that I would definitely be looking forward to if he ever comes back to playing here in a full-time basis of a team commitment.
Right.
That's the guy that I would pick moving forward.
Speaking of those big fat bats, they play Every Inch Counts. I believe tomorrow, Thursday, is it?
Yes.
Yes.
So if Zeptel sees this, you'll have your Nike stuff.
Yes, that's true.
Matthew
Yes.
Zeptel.
He will. They listen like right before their game.
Yeah, I
They're like,
know.
Yeah.
I know. They're big fans of ours.
I know.
I was like, all right, cool, guys.
They're
Yeah,
fan.
no.
They look up to you, Mo.
Apparently they do. All right, so look, a big game coming up here for these guys, your big fat bats.
This is actually kind of a rematch of the semifinal in the winter 5A. This is essentially Big Fat Bats versus Rico Riders,
Yeah.
who played at Stade de Montréal back in the winter.
Yes, that's right. So every inch counts against big fat bats here. I'm trying to get the schedule up here. Where is the game?
It should
Oh,
be
here
a
we
Laval.
go. There we go. Yeah, I found it. Yeah, Laval too. That's right. I knew it was in Laval coming up. Okay, so the keys to this matchup here, both teams are kind of within the same area code of where they are in the standings right now. But what does Big Fat Bats have to do to take out Every Inch Counts in this game here? Because Every Inch Counts is a really good team that's starting to peak at the right time.
Score more points than them. And Big Fat Bats have absolutely been doing that, as outlined by Will Power in his article. Their last 4 games, 46, 42, 55, and 48 points. You're not losing those games unless your defense is going to give up 47, 43, 56, and 49, which by adding the two-way player himself, Joe Morghese, Ryan McNally, as we said, can play in those higher divisions. Even adding Michael Caparelli just for one game this past Sunday morning, maybe he plays. No, they're going to score more points, and they're going to score 43 points and going to let up 20 or 22. That's as simple as that.
This will be their toughest test because you got Justin Lerner, Greg Costelius, the Wrangler, Darren,
Okay.
Peter Abandonado if he does play, Daniel Coruna as well. Like,
Yeah, he's if he's the 4th player you'll name, I haven't seen Peter Abandonado play, so I put him
he's
ahead
good.
of him.
He's good. He's a pro athlete.
I mean, he's a pro athlete, but football, hockey, does it translate? I don't know. I haven't
does
seen him.
translate.
I don't know. I haven't seen him play. Have you?
I
don't know.
like there might be like 8 Ryan McNally's on the field playing this team.
Well, for every name, for Lerner, McNally. And give me McNally over Lerner.
No, give me Lerner over McNally.
Lerner's an interesting case.
Because this is an FPF game, not a tackle game.
I understand. Lerner's an interesting case. I find he 5 years ago, maybe 5 is a lot, 3 seasons ago, he was one of those oh my god players that you feared and like it was starting to play the higher divisions. It kind of tailed off these past seasons. He still has that big gameplay and clutch play ability on like 4th down, but man, I've seen these weird drops from Justin Lerner that I never used to see. And give me Ryan McNally over him to shut him down in a game. Shut him down.
Okay, so this year, 31 for 374, 11 TDs. So that's 1 touchdown for every 2 receptions. Green Deal Human Beings, 29 for 291, 9 touchdowns. Different offense. Rico Riders, 42 for 472, 12 touchdowns.
I'm not
Tough
saying
Lungs,
he's not an impact
30
player.
for 439, 11 touchdowns. Hold on here. Moretti Crime Family, 38, 396, 13 touchdowns.
Yes.
Tough Lungs, 48, 709, 15 touchdowns. That was just about
Tell me
18 months ago.
the
Outlaws,
target
33,
ratio.
418 for 11 touchdowns. I'm just giving you numbers here right now.
You
Tough
should be-
Lungs, 62 for 617, 19 touchdowns.
You're probably going back to
Simon
2018.
Says, 46 for 642, 13 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Tough Lungs, 56, 726, 22 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Tough Lungs, 54, 609, 13 touchdowns.
You're going back exactly when I was saying that he was
so-
an absolute monster, and he still is. But the
No, what
tiny
you are
drops-
is a hater of
No,
Justin Lerner.
I would take him on my team any day.
Eagle, is he a hater?
I don't think he's a hater, but it's one thing
I think he's
to
jealous of him.
you can both like Justin Lerner
Love
and
it.
also be disappointed in the rare misses that he's having a lot of, which makes
Yes.
it less
Both
rare
of you
this
guys
season.
are haters.
That's exactly
haters.
it.
Haters. I'm going to text this guy right now. I'm going to test the Wrangler.
I take him on my day any team.
Sure. No.
By the
he-
way.
No, he ain't going with you no more.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I would take him on my team. He's an amazing player, but
Oh, now the
I've
violence
seen
comes
him-
out.
but I've
now
seen him
the violence
on
comes
key
out.
3rd and 4th downs with huge, and I'm talking wide open, sideline 10 hook, wide open drop. Why? And then he's pulling and snagging with being dragged from behind, one-handed snags, but drops a 10-yard hook on 4th down. I've seen it too many times recently, especially in recent memory, that it just leaves me like, oh, but it's Justin Lerner. Why is he dropping that?
Put it this way.
You can both like eating at McDonald's and dislike their new grilled chicken menu.
Put it this way.
Yeah. Yep.
If
I'm trying to think something Mo can relate to, but
I don't eat McDonald's. Every inch counts. If they were to win against Big Fat Bats,
It would be huge.
they would jump into the top 4
Yeah.
for number 11.
Yeah.
Right now, depending on what everything else plays out.
It's a huge game. I'd say it's a
seismic game.
bigger game for every inch counts than for it is for Big Fat Bats.
Exactly. I think it's a seismic game that can really change the diagram of this playoff format.
I'm going to ask the question, and if this
Yes.
comes off stupid, I'm sorry. The injury last night? The night before at Marivic? That was not a teammate on every inch count, right? That was another roster?
I think so, yeah. It was
Okay,
on,
so there's no impact on this game?
No,
or
no.
Correct.
Also, speedy recovery. Hope that guy's doing well.
Yeah, he's doing better. It was a pop shoulder from what I was told.
Yeah.
But he's back to normal.
Cool.
Okay, it's now time for top 5. Top 5 of
again,
this
Mo.
division. And let's go into it here. Should I go first?
Yeah, you go
Okay,
first.
Bandit's saying top 5. I'm sorry,
Okay.
Bandit. You're like number 9 on my list. Okay?
Ooh, 9.
Yeah, they're not
Okay.
a good football team.
Okay.
Okay, number 5, Penetrators. They are peaking at the right time here. Goodman, the boys, with even those new global gym uniforms that they have, looking fantastic. They're my number 5 team. I think they're rounding into shape right now. Le Bleu Dry. They're my number 4 team. They are running the guy in. They are running shoot. They are going to bomb you away with touchdowns, 40 yards variety, and crush your soul by doing that. And very good in defense here. X-Men, they are a team that I like a lot. We know both agree. 6-0 right now. Young, but they're growing as we get better and better in this division here. They can surprise a few teams here, so they're my number 3 team moving forward. My number 2 team, you're going to disagree with this, but I don't give a bleep. Friends with Danny. No one talks about this team. They're not sexy. They're not a team that's a Ferrari. They're an F-150 out there. They're going to come and stumble and tumble you in the whole 9 yards. That's what they are.
They're coming, baby.
They're coming, baby. And last but not least, Big Fat Bats. They're my number 1 team right now. They look impressive on both sides of the football here. Ryan McNally, the starting bench warmer, fantastic. But right now, Zepatelli's playing really good football as a quarterback, running and throwing. But I think this is my number 1 team right now.
I think you're wrong. I think in the number 5 position, you've left out a 4-1 team, Idaho Ute Pimps. At the number 4 slot, not that you went with them at number 4, but you went with Friends with Danny a little higher up. I'm going Les Petits Carottes, who absolutely wrecked Friends with Danny in the number 4 poll. Number 3, I agree. Les Bleu Dry are running gun gunslingers of the football. Their offense is versatile. They can stretch you deep. They can hit you short. They can attack intermediate. They can absolutely beat you across the field. Number 2, I'll go X-Men. Division 6 winners have proven that the higher ranks in Division D are not a obstacle for them. And number 1, Big Fat Bats.
Oh, look at that. Copycat.
How is that a copycat? You did not put them at number 1.
I did. Number 1, Big Fat Bats.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I said they're number 1 team.
Who was the number? Eagle, can you rewind? And
Oh, my goodness.
you did not
No,
pick
but
them
our
at
clip editor can.
Yes, exactly. I said number 1. I said Big Fat Bats.
No, you didn't.
Pay attention.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You did not. Did you write it down?
You fool. The clip will say it, and you'll be a fool for not remembering
Their
that I said it.
offense, look, their offense just scoring, like I just suggested, at a clip of 42 points per game. No one's doing that right
It's a
now.
copycat. I
Give me
said Big Fat Bats.
Big Fat Bats.
All right, on to Division A.
Okay. This is the last division of the night,
Yes,
Mo.
it is. It is.
We're doing it in an hour 33.
Yeah, we flown. We flew by.
We flowing, Mo.
Yeah, we flew by.
Might be able to go pick up some KFC on the way home. They opened one near my house now. I'm so happy.
Have they opened a KFC next to you? What's your favorite? What's your
Yeah,
go-to
because there
meal?
used to be one on Beaubiang, but they closed it down, and then the closest one was in like really, really, really far, and now it's like
Yeah,
right
there's one
next to my
not far
place.
from Miggy's house on Sherbrooke.
It's not good. It tastes like cigarettes.
Okay, so what's your favorite meal at Kentucky Fried Chicken?
The family meal.
Do they have any vegetarian options at KFC? No.
Potato salad.
There was actually. They did have like the I can't believe it's not chicken or whatever it was called.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Let me look at it.
Impossible something-y.
Chicken. Impossible.
Beyond Nuggets, there was something.
Oh, maybe the Nuggets. Yeah. Nah, it's not good. It's just not good. I
They
think
do have a plant-based stuff. They have the Beyond Fried Chicken, is what it's called.
No.
the idea of KFC is better than KFC.
Yes, but that's exactly the thing. Like once a year, I get that craving. I have it, and then I'm like,
and then
I'm
you're
good.
disappointed.
Yeah.
But then you're disappointed. You're like, why did I do this? This was a
Yeah.
mistake.
Yeah,
Although it's the only place I can get that weird green coleslaw.
yeah, the
It's
plant-based
lime green. Like.
the plant-based KFC there. Okay, Jameson's Party Crashers. They're neck and neck for 2 and 3. That Week 10 battle, could that be for second place? By the way, we're going at this clip.
Jameson's
And
Party Crashers?
Yeah.
Yes. I wanted you guys to talk about it more, but you didn't, so I will. Fred Dupuis has, and so Pease, this is funny. Pease is going to like this. Pease always criticizes you for being a 90s media member and that you're stuck in the 90s and that you haven't watched the movie since like Jurassic Park and he's now
Oh, are you dissing on Jurassic Park?
no, I'm just saying that's the
30-year
last
anniversary.
I'm just saying that's the last movie Mo's like watched
No,
like,
I
and hasn't watched
saw- I
anything.
saw-
Continue, but
no, I
tread
saw
lightly.
Guardians of the Galaxy about a few weeks
Tread
ago.
lightly.
I might go
Pease-
see, I might go see the Flash this week.
Pease is stuck with the idea that Fred Dupuis is just a gunslinger and throws it, chucks it downfield, and does nothing else. So he has not seen the new and improved Fred Dupuis, who has been safer with the football, yet still taking the timely and smart deep shots downfield. He's throwing the ball away when he's under pressure and under duress instead of throwing it into very tight or double coverage. He's simply throwing it out of bounds over the receiver's head, living to live on third down and fourth down to gain the touchdown, gain the first down, get a touchdown. He's playing at a much smarter, more methodical, yet still takes his deep shots, but again at a more game managed approach. So I absolutely, and it shows. It's showing. They're 4-1. They have 220 points in 5 games. That I believe prorates them to the highest scoring offense in Division A right now. And the defense is coming up when it needs to. So at least with like one key stop, not in every game, but in a game where they need it, they need to come back. And more than coming back, like I'm saying with Fred Dupuis, is that they haven't often been down in a game, and I'm super impressed with his game management portion. He's taken the next step in his FPF evolution, and it's one of the main reasons they're 4-1.
Okay, so the referendum for them will come in the next 2 games. They got All-Stars and Braves.
The referendum?
Yeah.
What is this? In the 19
Who's voting?
Yeah.
You really are stuck in the 90s, aren't you?
Yeah, I told you.
The referendum will come in the next 2 games, right? It's a common term, you fools.
Yeah, yes.
For people making a decision collectively.
Yes, exactly.
What
We'll-
people are making a
Us?
decision?
Us.
Us.
We will have a better
I already
idea,
made up my mind.
But we will have a better idea in the next week on whether or not they are a legitimate threat to be number 2 team or just the rest of the pack. Because they got All-Stars coming up and they got Braves coming up.
Yeah,
Okay,
fine, agreed.
so-
So we're putting it to a vote.
Yes, we're putting it to a vote. We're going to find out from a style points of what you're trying to say that Fred Dupuis is a lot more cleaner as a quarterback now than where he was before,
So
and the defense is playing better. Now you're going up against Kevin Wyeth, the top hitter of this
hard,
division,
yeah.
and how you're going to face against him outdoors in Laval on Thursday. And then you got Braves, who are now the chasers of trying to get up to the number 2 spot if they can.
So he's made the step up in like I mentioned and suggested. He's making that half a step up to improve and clean and play a safer game. Now we're asking him in the next 2 games to play the perfect game, which I don't think he's there just yet, but he's approaching it. He's getting into that conversation. But we've seen it time again. How many times have we seen where a quarterback has scored more touchdowns than Kevin Wyeth and Jameer and are losing the game by 8 or 10 points? It's crazy the amount of times I've seen it, and he needs to score more touchdowns than Kevin Wyeth and Jameer and outscore them on the 2-point converts, and I'm not sure he's there yet.
Well, that's going to be the key, and he's got to do it on Thursday against
That's tough.
against the All-Stars. And that brings it to that. I know we've kind of previewed the All-Stars, All-Stars Party Crasher game now. But if you had to put your money down today, who gets second place? Crashers or Jameson?
I think it does come down to that last game of the season.
So you're saying Braves and will not catch up to the Jamesons or Party Crashers for number 2?
Correct. Yes. And the Jamesons, man, what a roster. What an absolute roster. They're going to... I think they can run the table. I think the Jamesons can win the next 4 games.
And Lumiere, Braves, Party Crashers, bless up.
Yeah, I really think they can... Like I just said with Fred Spree, I think Jeff Rosenblatt with this roster can have the same number or more touchdowns than Jean Maher and out-duel him in the 2-point battle to win that matchup. So I think they can run the table. So give me Jameson stand up in the second seed.
So it's Jameson number 2 seed, but again, the referendum will be out on Party Crashers the next 2 games because you have All-Stars and Braves and how that will play out. Okay, so No Regard right now, #NR, they play the most games in Division 1 or Division 8 at 7. They're 3-4 right now.
Yep.
Are you confident that they'll be in that strong position to be in a playoff spot because they're starting to run out of racetrack and guys are starting to get hurt, not be available now going towards the final 3 games for that team?
No, they're safe, I believe, for a playoff spot. So they've got Party Crashers, Rayam, KGP. The thing with NR, 1 week, I'm like, oh my God, what a monster of a team. It was the game against Braves. They had a 26-6 lead over the Braves.
Yeah.
Now, as the Braves do in Braves fashion, NR won that game Sunday at Brossard.
They did.
Huh. Okay, that's not how I remember. Maybe I'm thinking of another. I'm thinking of Blessed was up 26-6 on Braves. The NR won that game against Braves. I was very impressed with NR. I'm like, this team can pull off the major upset in a 1-game playoff scenario. But then the next week, I see them get absolutely ripped by Kevin Wyeth, which it's Kevin Wyeth, so I get it. But the point being, they were, I believe, up on Kevin Wyeth or they were going score for score when they had their 24 points. And then the All-Stars just blew it out of the water near the end of the first half and into the second half. So you get that double-edged sword with NR. You get the, oh my God, what a monster of a team, and there goes that game. So they're a week-to-week kind of matchup-dependent team, in my opinion, and not just matchup-dependent. They're dependent on how they show up that night, on any given night. So I think they lose to Party Crashers. Man, Rayam Luminaire has been killing teams, by the way. So I think that one's close, but they lose it, and I think they can out muscle KGB because this team is just not just all muscle, but they've got that muscle and the speed to match what Corey Pecker likes to run.
I think they get one more win. I don't know who that will come against with the Crashers, Royal Lumiere, and KGP.
But with 4 wins, they make the playoffs.
4 wins to make the playoffs. But 3, they play the most games. They're going to be a little bit idle now. They're not going to play for about 2 weeks until June 26th from the June 11th game that they had on Sunday. So they're off for pretty much 15 days. And then it's a bit more spread out here. So they don't really control their fate in terms of where they are. Star City can get going. Blessed can get going and maybe catch up to them and maybe drop them down. But if they get one more win, I think they're safe to get in the playoffs here going forward. So it'll be quite fascinating to see how this plays out. It is now time for
Games of the Week. Yeah, it's one of those weeks.
Yeah, it is.
All right, let's go through these. We're going to try and do them reasonably fast like we always do, and then we fail miserably.
Yeah, because you don't do Thursday games. Thanks.
We're going to start with Division E. Cover 3 inches long. Bend, don't break.
Why don't I hear the music?
Cover 3.
You don't?
No, we don't have music.
You should.
We're not.
No. Okay. Oh, well. I will go cover 3 as well.
Did you hear the music for the intro at the beginning?
Yes.
Okay, so I haven't changed anything, so it's just you.
Okay.
Ramfins, Pasta Arabiat.
Pasta boys.
Pasta.
Texas Wales, Hail Marty's.
What Marty's?
Yeah, Marty.
Meat Lovers, Not You Too.
Meat Lovers. Oh, Not You Too, sorry. Not You Too, sorry.
You never know who's going to be there for Not You Too, so give me Not You Too.
Show Me Dem TDs, Area 69.
TDs.
TDs.
Timberwolves Bloodline.
Bloodline.
No, Timberwolves.
Texas Chooches Les Habitations Bear.
Chooches.
I'll go Chooches.
And Hail Marty's Satrial.
Marty's.
Hey, Marty, 2-0.
Coed 2 Deep Balls Kiss My End Zone.
Kiss Manzo.
I can't pick it.
Pig 6 Street Runners.
Pick 6.
Pick 6.
The IG team Les Marchands de Vitesse.
IG.
Instagram.
Fit Squad The Rookies.
Fits.
If Brouard is there, Fit Squad. If he's not there, the rookies.
Deep Balls Vultures.
Deep balls.
I will go tie game. Tie game.
The Rookies Block Party.
Block party.
I'll go the rookies.
Vultures Never Too Late team.
Vultures.
I'll go never too late.
Beeftons The IG team.
IG.
IG.
Coed Divisions 3 Tigres Kamikaze.
Kamikaze.
Tigres.
Fast Not Furious 3 Michael Scott's Tots.
Fast Not Furious.
FNF.
Les Crevettes Thunder Buddies.
Thunder Buddies.
Thunder Buddies.
1-Niners We Love Big TDs.
1-Niners.
I'll go 1-Niners.
Pig 6 Catching W's.
Pick 6.
Big 6. TDs.
Kamikaze Drink Team.
Drink team.
Drink.
Free Agents Les Crevettes.
Free agents. Cravette. I go free agents.
I'll go Corvette.
Dream Killers 1-Niners.
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 And Les Schtroumpfs Fast Not Furious 3.
Fast Not Furious.
Number 3.
Division B Beer Belly Brigade Beers and Brownies.
Beers and brownies.
Lots of beer, baby. Can't pick it.
Silent Ticklers Poseidon's Kiss.
Ticklers.
Yeah, Ticklers.
B Raves ECW.
B Raves.
B-Raves.
Run It Once B Raves.
Run it once.
I'll go B-Raves.
Beer Belly Brigade Blessed.
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 Run It Once Blessed.
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 We're gonna go Division Women's Wildcats The Rock.
The Rock.
Ooh, that's a good matchup. I'll go Wildcats.
Sub-Zero Blue Thunder.
Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero.
BIT Supernova.
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 X&X Touchdown for what?
Touchdown for what?
I'll go touchdown for what?
Red Nation The Rock.
Rock.
The Rock.
Blue Thunder X&X.
Blue Thunder.
Thunder.
Division C Top Season The Infantry.
Infantry.
I'll go top season.
Hot Sauce Sports Killer Rays.
Hot sauce.
Nope. Killer Rays.
Green Munches Repeat Offenders.
Lunches.
Repeat offenders.
Mengoose Diamond Bougie.
Diamond Bougie.
Diamond Bougie.
Flag Fools Trap Stars.
Trap Stars.
Flag Fools.
Diamond Bougie Game Changers.
Bougie.
Diamond Bougie. High offense in that game.
Hot Sauce Sports Primal.
Hot sauce.
Primal.
Les Bleus Branleurs Flag Fools.
LBB.
Flag Fools.
Fourth and Schlong Dirty Birds.
Good
Schlong.
matchup. Yeah, with the injury, 4th and Schlong.
Never Overtime Sharks.
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 Backyard Bullies Bible Study.
Bullies.
Bible study.
The Infantry Kiss My In-Laws.
The Kiss My In-Laws.
I can't pick it.
The Commission Repeat Offenders.
Repeat offenders.
Yeah, repeat offenders.
Never Overtime Fourth and Schlong.
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 Division D West Island Boys Longhorns.
West Island Boys.
Yeah, West Island Boys.
Stallions Born in the 80s.
Stallions.
Good matchup. Born in the 80s.
Dilf Gang Every Inch Counts.
Every inch counts.
Every inch counts.
Blues Les Renards Vifs.
Renard Vif.
Yeah, Renat.
Les Petites Carottes Save the Turf Dolls.
LPC.
LPC.
Idaho Utah-Pimps The Rude Sacks.
Idaho.
I can't pick it.
DNE Friends with Danny.
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 Blitz Sisters Big Fat Bats.
Big Fat Bats.
EFB.
Riders of Rohan Studs Are Us.
Studs Are Us.
Studs.
Les Renards Vifs Balls Deep.
Balls Deep.
Renat.
Save the Turf Dolls Primetime.
Turtles.
It's Turf Dolls.
Every Inch Counts Red Dragons.
Dragons.
Red Dragons, yeah.
Friends with Danny West Island Boys.
Go Danny.
Oh, that's a good one. 1 point victory for West Island Boys.
Bandits Les Blue Dry.
Blue Dry. You're gonna crush them.
Yeah, LBD.
The Penetrators Riders of Rohan.
Penetrators.
Penetrate.
Been localizing too many strings recently. Idaho Utah-Pimps Bonzita Hunsik.
Idaho.
I can't pick it. That's
Why
a good
so
match.
serious? Longhorns.
Longhorns.
I'll go Longhorns.
And lastly here, Division A, KGP All-Stars.
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 Royaume Luminaire, Star City.
Star City.
Yeah, Star City.
Bless Up, Star City.
Star City.
Star City's got to win.
Braves, Party Crashers.
Braves.
And
Party Crashers.
And the Jamesons, Royaume Luminaire.
Jamesons.
Jamesons.
That's our games of the week.
All right. Magic words, please.
Good night.
A
Florida
reminder-
Panthers.
Good night, Florida Panthers and Miami Heat. Sorry,
Night.
South Florida.
Night.
But you got Leo Messi. But reminder, check out your games played.
Yeah.
Check out the playoff schedule.
Check out our Instagram for clips from this show because it's fun to share them with your friends and comment on them and tag people.
Exactly. And that's it. That's all. Good night, South Florida.
Good night, Spider-Man. All right. Good shit.
Put the place up, yeah we know what we